703 North Post Road, Shelby. CF Moto is clicking on all cylinders during their clearance sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Lowell. Get financing as low as 0% and up to $1,500 cash back on CF Moto models. And check out the Suzuki DRZ 4S motorbike with financing at 4.99% for 36 months. And the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event is underway. Get 0% for 60 months or $3,000 customer cash back. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Law, online at ncfullthrottlepowersports.com. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Yep.
Whenever we get the camera going.
Hello, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the final week of the regular season. We're here at Lenoir-Rhyne College. I butchered that. Lenoir-Rhyne College at Moretz Stadium, which will be hosting one or two of the state championship games. We're here tonight for the meeting of two teams that we're going to stumble over the names from because they're almost identical. We've got the Lake Norman Charter Knights and the Lincoln Charter Eagles playing in a conference game here. So we welcome everybody. Thanks to Kevin back at the studio for getting us online. And we will have video once the cameraman shows up. Camera has this nice habit of freezing or shutting down if you don't use it for any length of time. And so what you're seeing is the last picture that was taken. You can see that we are at Lenoir-Rhyne. That is not what we're seeing right now. We're getting senior night for Lincoln Charter. And the scoreboard is going to confuse us greatly because it says LCHS and LNCHS.
Maybe we can kind of go by bench because the far bench is like
I guess that's
we'll
it.
Try.
Why don't they just put Eagles and Knights?
Exactly.
Maybe it doesn't fit. Looks like there's enough space. But anyway, I digress. That's Scott Tudor, as always. Hello. And I'm Dave Potter, and we welcome you to tonight's broadcast. And it will be a broadcast, and we will be able to have video action of the game along with our stellar commentary.
Yes, our stellar commentary. After the well-traveled partner of mine is back in North Carolina.
Yes, golf trip to Alabama. It was great. The weather there was much better than here. I kept looking at the weather and going, oh, dear God, that's awful. So let's get started. This is the Stadium pregame show brought to you by True Power. We're off to a good start tonight.
Full Throttle Power Sports of
Thank
Lowell.
you. That's the one. Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell. And, of course, our title sponsor for Lincoln County football, as has been for the second straight year, is Bugbusters of Lincolnton. And we thank all of our sponsors for putting regular season high school football on the air.
Yes.
Some air, some video. Now we got video tonight, so that's even better. So let's take a look at the two teams. The Lake Norman Charter Knights might be familiar to some of you as they were in a conference with North Lincoln and East Lincoln years ago. Then the last 4 years they were independent, and now they're back in a conference with a bunch of other charter schools, basically. So the sizes are different, but they're all the same make and model, kind of. They're all charter schools, so I guess that's a fair way to do it, although they left Mountain Island Charter out somehow. Who's right there by all these
stepchild.
It must be. So Lake Norman Charter comes in at 4-5, 2-3 in conference this season. Their head coach is Matthew Montroy. He's in his fourth year. He's 23-14. He came over from South Meck, where he was the defensive coordinator, and like yours truly, both of us, he is originally from upstate New York. So Yankees everywhere.
Yes, we're taking over.
Well, what I argue is the North won the war, but the South won the economic battle because we're all coming down here because it's better than it is economically up north. So this season they lost their opener to South Lake 13-7 in overtime, beat Garinger and North Monroe, then lost to Forest View. That was their non-conference play. Coming into conference, they've beaten Pine Lake Prep and Langtree, lost to Corvian, Community School of Davidson, and Christ the King. So that's a brief look at what they've done this season. We'll take a quick look at what Lincoln Charter's done. As we know, they're in their first season. Head coach is Mike Bias. Not his first go-round as a head coach. We know that he was the coach at East Lincoln, went up to West Virginia for a few years, then came back to South Carolina for a couple years, and now he's back at Lincoln Charter, back in Lincoln County. So this season, they came out of the gate, beat Highland Tech, Langtree Christian, and Langtree Charter. They've lost to West Lincoln, Union Academy, Christ the King, Corvian Community, and Community School of Davidson, and Pine Lake Prep. So they've had it tough in conference, going 1-4. The only victory being should have been Langtree, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. Wasn't like 44-42. Great ball game.
Yeah, we were kind of looking at that, whatever game we were at, and I remember saying, oh, that's quite a shootout.
Yeah, looks like it was. I wonder if it was West Lincoln and Stuart Kramer when we were like, well, there's offense over there. There's sure not any here. So let's quick look at the two teams. And next up, we're going to do some key players to watch, brought to you by Key Builders of Lincolnton. And which team you want to go with?
I can do either one. Like you say, whatever we can kind of tag team it if
Pick
you like.
one,
okay,
will ya?
All right.
Jeez.
All right, we're going to go with the Kniggets, the Knights of Lake Norman Charter.
Fans, me included.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I always put a little nugget, if I can find one, that the quarterback, Dylan Wigno, I think is how they say it, is taking over for his brother, David, who last year threw for 21 touchdowns and 2,000 yards.
I missed that one.
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting. They're keeping it all in the family. But the quarterback, again, Dylan, is 83 of 170 for 1,440 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but also has rushed for a couple touchdowns and 152 yards. And I think I noticed this. One of the pass receptions was for 95 yards. I wonder who caught that one.
Good Lord.
That's a heck of a, one-play kind of thing.
Didn't we see a 90-something yarder some other game?
I think that was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the first this year, but it's like there's a couple of them.
But running back Hayes Dotson is a freshman.
Yeah.
150 carries for 732 yards and 8 touchdowns. A couple of receivers, Dorian Morgan, and I think Dorian also has a kickoff return, so I think the athlete to keep an eye on is number 2 for the Knights. But he's a senior, one of the few seniors I think I wrote down on the players to watch. But he's got 42 receptions for 789 yards, 6 touchdowns, and again I mentioned he had a kickoff return, as well as Eli Washington. He's just a sophomore, has 297 yards receiving, as well as 4 touchdowns. Defensively, now this was another key stat I kind of noticed. They have 17 interceptions on the season.
Yeah, I saw that.
And 7 fumbles recovered. So that's 24 takeaways. And if I did my math, I think it was the opposite last week of the game we had, but they're plus 15 in the turnovers if I did my math correct, because I had them for 4 fumbles. That was 5 interceptions.
I got them plus 13.
Okay. Well,
I got them for close. 4 and 7.
Okay.
Offensively, 7 and 17 defensively.
Okay, but either way, it's still plus.
And that's a lot for a team that's 4 and 5.
Right.
Usually, if you see the turnover battle where they're winning it by double digits, you think this team's going to be 7-1, 8-0, something like that. They're 4 and 5.
Yeah, I can say they've done kind of a strange, but they're right around 500. But so defensively, we're going to look for number 23, Mr. Freight. For some reason I didn't put his first name down, but I'll look it up later. Logan Freight.
Yep.
Okay, is their leading tackle as a junior, 116 tackles and 12.9 average, a couple for loss. And then number 24, Clark, has 67 tackles. I only have him playing 8 games, so he's missing a game somewhere in there. But he's averaging 8 tackles a game, so hopefully he's out there tonight for them. Number 4, Eli Washington, kind of mentioned him on the offensive side, but he's got some 43 tackles as well. And number 8, Mukendi, a sophomore, has 43 tackles as well, but that's just 7 games. And their kicker, always mention maybe if we can find one, special teams, is number 1, Viamin. He's a senior, 17 to 20 on the point after attempts. 1 of 3 field goals, and he does some punting. He's got a pretty decent average, 32 yards or so on his average punts.
A couple things to throw in there. Another one defensively to watch. It's number 54, Henry Casey. He's a senior. He has 34 tackles, but 8 are for losses. So he must be one of the linemen that might be getting good pressure that you'll see going against Braden Walden for Lincoln Charter. And then I'm wondering if this is correct. You said he's 1 of 3 of field goals?
Yes.
Did you see what his long was, which means he's only made 1?
No.
55.
Okay.
I was like, wow. And then Tiger McKendy is also a sophomore. He's probably the heir apparent. He's 4 of 4 on PATs.
I did have that down as well.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, that's a look at Lake Norman Charter. We'll be careful here tonight doing that. And looking at some of the key players to watch for Lincoln Charter. Of course, quarterback is Braden Walden, sophomore, 6'5", can sling it. 105 of 159, 1,555 yards, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Now receiving is where he's had problems this year, is because the people he would normally throw to, like King Davis and some others, are injured. King Davis had 244 yards on 15 receptions and 3 touchdowns, but that was only in the first 4 games. He did not play in the game against Corvion that we covered down at Charlotte. Question is, will he be available tonight? And I'm trying to look and see if – and there's quite a few players we're seeing over there in street clothes. The Lincoln Charter's lined up on the end zone, goal line there. And there's a couple more in street clothes. They had 7 or 8 last time.
Right,
that was
yeah.
a big
Here
number.
in see Charlotte, it was like the whole nother squad.
Yeah, they almost had a starting 11 in the injury thing. Starting to look like the Sabres and the Hurricanes.
Oh, Sabres are getting a little bit better, but now your boys are getting a little
Oh,
better.
we might have lost Seth Jarvis for a bit. It's like, good Lord. It's
My fantasy team.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's the only time you root for the Canes.
That's the only time. The only time.
And so he has had Jeremiah Benton, the senior, 24 catches, 446 yards, 5 touchdowns. And then freshman Draven Mayfield, 13 for 202. Rushing-wise, Benton is also the leading rusher, 435 yards and 8 touchdowns. Walden, 427 yards and 4 touchdowns. And part of his is, I'm sure he loses yardage on sacks. I believe that comes off the rushing totals here in high school.
Correct.
Defensively, Justin Huggins, who we called several times last game, 48 tackles, and Inman Rathbone, 29 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Kicking-wise, we have no data. Offensively, we don't have fumbles, but we have 6 interceptions. And they've recovered 1 fumble and intercepted 12 passes. So chances are they're probably close to 500. The turnover battle is probably about 0, give or take, plus or minus 2 on either side. That's our guess. There was nothing out on Max Preps about it. So we are guessing at that. So those are some of the key players to watch tonight, brought to you by Key Builders of Lincolnton. And we'll be back with more of the Stadium pregame show after this timeout.
It's time to rush in now and pick up some great deals at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. It's Trunk Month, and you don't want to pass on these deals. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Also offer good on the Canyon and the Colorado models. And don't forget to take a look at the Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. It's a touchdown to savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln, online at abernathychevrolet.com.
Escape the elements and get back to comfortable with James River Equipment's Back to Cool special. Step inside a John Deere 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder tractor and enjoy the ultimate operator experience. The premium cab keeps you out of the dust, dirt, and bugs, while air ride seats and quiet climate-controlled interior lets you focus on getting more done. With up to $5,000 off and 0% financing for 72 months, there's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. James River delivers. Ends 9/26/25 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Shelby. CF Moto is clicking on all cylinders during their clearance sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Law. Get financing as low as 0% and up to $1,500 cash back on CF Moto models. And check out the Suzuki DRZ 4S motorbike with financing at 4.99% for 36 months. And the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event is underway. Get 0% for 60 months or $3,000 customer cash back. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Law, online at ncfullthrottlepowersports.com. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Some people say there are doers, and there are dreamers. But what's wrong with a little dreaming, especially when it's shared? With hard work, little dreams grow into big ones. At Kubota, we know that your work never stops, and we're inspired by those who dream. But our equipment is built for dreamers and doers, like you. Kubota, built for those who do.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain.
Back here now at Lenoir-Rhyne, just about game time. We're down to 3 minutes on the pregame clock. And a couple of notes. Want to get in here quick. We'll do a better recap, but there a few of the sports are concluding this weekend. Volleyball is concluding. Women's tennis is doing dual team championships, and cross country is also running championships. So we're going to hit some of those. But one thing we wanted to pass along that we knew for sure is that East Lincoln girls tennis is the state champions. Hardly surprising, as they had a doubles team qualify for the state individual finals. It's kind of weird, a doubles team and individuals, but that doesn't make sense. But anyway, and then also they had two players make the singles final draw, and it was Carson Sink and Sydney Dan. They both won their matches and met in the final, so it was an all East Lincoln final. So it's not surprising if you've got a doubles team and you've got the first and second place singles players that you won a state championship as a team. And it was, what, 5-1?
5-1 over Durham. Somebody in Durham.
Durham School of the Arts, I believe, is who they were playing. I got it in my notes here somewhere. One of these days, I'm going to be a little more organized, and then I'm not going to know what to do. What to do. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they were playing Durham School of the Arts. They played them this afternoon and won 5-1. So congratulations to Carson Sink, Sydney Dan, and all the other members of the East Lincoln tennis team as they have won the state championship.
So looking up your cross country, if I did it right, North Lincoln finished second. That team scores 111.
That's a virtual meet because they don't run until tomorrow.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep, no problem.
I'm a rook.
Yeah, Mr. Cross Country here. Now they
I'm done.
There's let's see, four of the classes ran today, and 4 will run tomorrow. The ones that ran today are, let's see, cross country, and let's see, 3A and 4A ran today. I think also one,
1,
but
2,
anyway.
3, and 4.
Yeah, now 3A, the results were posted already.
Girls or boys, doesn't matter.
Girls was Jaleese Campbell of West Lincoln finishing 29th and led the team to a 9th place finish. And the boys leader was Anderson Wise. He was 62nd, and the boys team finished 14th overall.
Okay.
Shelby was 6th, so a local team did do pretty well. Also, Lincoln Charter was running. That was the afternoon batch of races. I know that Bryson Perry was the lead runner for the boys. He finished 14th in the race individually. The team results are not posted until everybody finishes because They want the suspense at the awards ceremony.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Having been to Kernersville many times and seen how that works. Nice facility. Mostly gravel, so even if it rains, it holds up pretty well.
Okay, good.
So the teams are getting the opening. They're going to flip to see who gets the ball first. I printed out Lincoln Charter's roster again just because I figured it might have changed. I'm not sure how many other. Let's see.
Okay, he's having some kind of conversation. Flip a coin there, brother. Let's go.
All I know is number 75 is a large young man for Lincoln Charter. That is Keelan Rustomoff. They don't have statistics on him, just a senior defensive tackle. And he is a
It's like Lake Norman won the toss.
And how are we going to do this? This is the longest coin toss I've seen in a long time. This is going to be the leader in the clubhouse. So they're finally moving them around to the side there. Lake Norman Charter wins the toss. They will defer, and they will be going to the Lincoln Charter will get the ball first, and they'll be going from right to left as soon as our video is up and running.
sounds like an
I don't know
echo.
if you,
I thought maybe that was you. How'd you get over there?
I don't know if you could hear that at home, but the PA announcer just apologized. He says, I'm going to mess up Lincoln Charter and Lake Norman Charter at some point tonight. I apologize now. I already did. I beat him to the punch.
I thought we were rewinding there for a second.
Well, he's not a friend of yours. Let's put it this way, Scott. He's sitting down there in a Kansas City Chiefs outfit.
Oh, well, maybe I'll need to get my Bill stuff on here in a second.
There you go. You already got the Bills lanyard. So, all right. So we're about ready to get started here. We're at Lenoir-Rhyne again. Final game of the season. Happy Halloween. We'll see who it's trick or treat for in tonight's ball game.
Yeah, it's interesting. We haven't really had a chance to talk too much about it, but obviously I think both of these teams are going to qualify for next week's playoff. Barely maybe for Lincoln Charter. They're sitting at 47 out of the 48. And depending, of course, what goes on tonight, whether or not they end up at 48. But
yeah, and
projected.
That's about the cutoff point because we don't know the cutoff because they have to take out the teams that have opted out, and then they have to figure out which teams are east and west, who's the middle team.
Right.
And then that will figure out whether the 24 that go on the west side and the 24 that go on the east side. And it is 4A, so there's a full batch of teams there.
And Lake Norman Charter is at 38, so they're within the range.
They're in good shape. And they're both in 4A. And as you see when we go through halftime, we'll try and go through some of the other results. This is going to become a rivalry very soon, if it isn't already, because they've met in volleyball, they've met in tennis, they're meeting in football. So they're going to see plenty of each other the next 4 years. I think you'll see this turn into a really good rivalry. So Max, was it Max Vielman? Mark.
Kicker?
Mark Vieman will kick off. 3 receivers back for Lincoln Charter, and here we go. Kick is in the air, shorter kick, fielded at the 18-yard line, picked up by, and that's a good start. I don't have a number 11.
Either do I.
And I printed out the last roster on Max Prep. Do I have it on the other roster from before? So we're off to a flying start with numbers, and it's not on the old roster either that we got at the West Lincoln game. That was so long ago. It's not surprising. So Lincoln Charter will have the ball. They'll start the drive at the 36-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10. As they come out in the normal spread formation, 2 to the upside, 1 to this side, back to pass is number 0. And normally that is King Davis. Is Weldon wearing a different number tonight?
I don't know.
So a gain of 9 on that pass play is throwing me off there. If that's Walden, he is wearing number 0 tonight, and that is normally King Rice, according to the roster. Or King Davis, going way back to North Carolina basketball days. Motion across the formation. Walden back, throws a quick out pattern to the right, catch is made. It'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down as they get across midfield. Catch is made by 15. David Blanco de Hoyos. So that'll be a gain of 7 on that play. Another completion. 1st and 10. Walden hands off this time. Should be Jeremiah Benton going up the middle, and he'll be lucky if he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good job there by number 77, Bejan G, for the Knights. And they kind of play a little different forefront. They've got their 2 defensive tackles down in the usual 3 or 4 point stance, and they've got 2 ends, I guess we're going to call them, but they're standing up. So again, when you face sort of a spread type of offense, you kind of keep people up to get off the ball as quick as you can, like
a drop in the coverage.
Yeah, or drop depending on where they are on the field.
2nd and 10. Walden looks downfield, throws. The pass is tipped. He was attending it for number 3, Brody Ward, but the pass was knocked down. Good play there by number 23, Logan Freight. And that's the first time we've called him tonight.
Yeah, one of our key players to watch for the Knights. Playing 2 deep here on the 3rd and 10 play for the Eagles.
Walden drops back, pressure, steps up, goes to the pocket. He's going to run with it. Across the 50, across the 40, and he's tackled and goes out of bounds at the 37. That'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down on the run, gain of 13. Well, they're saying that's King Davis, and I know it's not. He's probably going by the same roster we have. Well, that's much too tall for King Davis. Davis was listed at 5'10". Walden is 6'5", and that is a tall person in the backfield. So we are assuming that it is Braden Walden, just with a different number. Not sure what that's all about.
Little gamesmanship going on for the Eagles, huh?
Maybe. Motion. Handoff to Benton up the middle. Moves it to the right side. And he's got good gain there on first down. Gets to about the 23-yard line, gain of 5. And they're hurrying up to the line. Now they're going the full spread formation. 2 wide receivers on either side. And Benton behind the quarterback. We're assuming it's Walden. Keeps it, rolls, throws. He's got a receiver. Catch is made about the 26-yard line. And that'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down. Ball complete to number 15, De Hoyos, for another Eagles. And it goes to De Hoyos, so another first down.
Yeah, just running this offense quick, as we've seen a few times in a few teams, getting up to the line, basically calling it from right behind the line of scrimmage. I guess the receivers get a signal as well from the sideline, and are off and running.
So first down at the 26. Fake. Walden keeps it. Dances through the left side. Breaks one tackle. Finally brought down inside the 15-yard line. Again, another Turner Hauser Insurance first down as the Eagles are making some hay here on the opening drive.
Yeah, got the Knights on their heels a little bit. I'm not sure if they're used to getting in formation this quick, keeping up their starting 11 on the field. But a good job by the Eagles.
Do they do like the college substitution where if one team subs, they let the other?
They should.
I don't remember them doing that.
Well, we'll find out.
Walden keeps it again. This time goes to the right. Gets a few yards down to the 11. So that'll be a gain of about 3. And it'll bring up 2nd and 7 from the 11-yard line. So already 3 carries for 27 yards for Walden. I think somebody just told the PA announcer because he said Walden.
Yes.
So we were correct. Fortunately, we've seen this team a couple times, some of us. Walden, back to pass, looks, throws an in pattern. It's picked off, goes off the hands of the receiver. It's an interception going the other way. It's being chased down the field, and Walden finally drags him down, but not before he gets all the way to the 22-yard line. Interceptions made by number 5, Sander Griffin. And he intercepted that about the 6-yard line. And he brings it all the way back to the 23. So 27, 44, 71-yard return.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a bad play. I think the receiver turned around and the ball was kind of on him quick. And so he went off his shoulder pad right into the arms of Griffin. And he burst out of there pretty good speed. Good thing Walden had the angle, or that might have been a pick 6.
Yeah, there was another player that was also chasing him down too, one or the other. But 1st and 10, handoff, straight up the middle, not much there. I expect that to be their workhorse.
28.
Number 28, and that is Hayes Dotson, the freshman. So 1 yard for the freshman on the first play. And again, they're lining up quick too. We're going to have to be fast ourselves. Getting the ball, getting the call and the stats done here. Dodson again, this time, little delay, goes around the left side, gets inside the 20, down to the 16. So a gain of about 5 on that play for Dodson.
Yeah, good job there by the outside linebacker Roseboro for the Eagles. Coming up to make the play.
1 wide receiver each side, 2 tight ends kind of off the back of the line. Low pass down, catch, throw out to Dodson coming out of the backfield. And that was, like I said, Dylan Wignott, the brother, trying to complete a pass, following his brother's footsteps. It was Dylan, and what was the other one?
David.
David. They were both D's. I knew that. So already 4th down. Good job by the Lincoln Charter defense, and that's going to bring on Max. I'm going to say that every time. I don't know why. Mark Veerman. It will be a 33-yard attempt.
And Brody Ward, number 3, is the holder.
Oh, and they just jumped offside. Offside on number 9, Jordan LeMade. And that's going to give Lake Norman Charter a 1st down. Turner Hauser Insurance, 1st down by penalty.
Yeah, so that'll put them at the 11, so they got a chance to get a 1st down if they need it.
There'll barely be room, but they can do it. So Wignott with Freight behind him in the eye. Hand off to Dodson. Not much there. Good pursuit. Good pressure. Tackle made by number 72, Isaac. I'm sorry, wrong. Colin Cooney. I've got to get this stuff arranged the right way here.
Yeah, that'd be a tackle for loss. Yeah,
It
good
will.
job, defensive end. Again, you can't really tell maybe at times, but it really is the same defense. They just go down, all 4 of them in a 4-point stance, and basically play that 4-3. And then, like say, if they run more of the spread, they'll bring in that nickel corner if they need it to cover the spread offense.
2 wide receivers each side. Wignott back, hits Dodson out of the backfield. He gets inside the 10, spun down at about the 6-yard line. And that'll get some of the loss back. And now they're down to 3rd and 4 at the 6-yard line. So pass completed there. First completion there goes to number 28, Dodson. Gets about 6 yards. And it'll be, and they're not doing down a distance, so 3rd and 4 is what I'm calling it.
Yep, I think you're about right.
Okay. Wignott steps back. Again, out of the backfield, it's Dotson. Catch is made at the 5, breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone. So a little swing pass out to the freshman, Hayes Dodson, and he takes it in the end zone for a 6-yard touchdown pass, and 6 points on the board for Lake Norman Charter. It is a Kiever Pharmacy of Lincolnton touchdown with a James River Equipment PAT upcoming. And again, Mark Vieman will be on to attempt the extra point, hold by Wignott. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it's good. So with 4:59 to go in the first quarter, the Knights take a 7-0 lead over Lincoln Charter.
It's time to rush in now and pick up some great deals at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. It's Trunk Month, and you don't want to pass on these deals. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Also offer good on the Canyon and the Colorado models. And don't forget to take a look at the Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. It's a touchdown to savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln, online at abernathychevrolet.com.
Escape the elements and get back to comfortable with James River Equipment's Back to Cool special. Step inside a John Deere 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder tractor and enjoy the ultimate operator experience. The premium cab keeps you out of the dust, dirt, and bugs, while air ride seats and quiet climate-controlled interior lets you focus on getting more done. With up to $5,000 off and 0% financing for 72 months, there's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. James River delivers. Ends 9/26/25 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Shelby.
So back here at Lenore-Rhine, a good drive by Lincoln Charter is stopped by an interception. Now you've got two men going for the football. They bounces off them. It's scooped up by number 5, Colton Stern, and he's only able to get it out to the 18-yard line. So mistakes already plaguing the Lincoln Charter. Again, they had the great drive. The interception was brought back 71 yards, set up Lake Norman Charter, and they took it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, like you said, the Eagles had a pretty good drive to start. Just got taken away, obviously, by that interception off the deflection off the receiver. So it looks like some kind of miscommunication. They're missing a offensive lineman.
Well, the play clock hasn't started. It's still at 40. Has that been going tonight or not? Or are they just keeping it on the field?
Must be keeping it on the field. It's not moving now.
Yep. Hand off to Benton. He's trying to go left, and he's met by a bunch of players for the Knights. Kniggets. Oh, you had to start things, didn't you?
I'm sorry. Wozniak. All right. I don't know if you're good with computers. Good
Might
job
be.
there by number 80, Wozniak for the Knights. Got some penetration and was able to string that out and get a loss of 8.
Be nice if there was somebody else on the roster named Jobs. Then we'd have it covered. Yeah, loss of 8, so 2nd and 18.
Yeah, it looks like we got a tight end, 2 split out to the right, number 5.
And a flag flies on the play.
Stern
Again, this one didn't go. This one didn't.
Oh, I'm not even going to.
As if tonight hasn't been more fun.
Okay, all right.
That ball was carried by number 5, Colton Stern, and he is dropped for a loss of another 2. That was very generous of it, too, because he was really far into the backfield. But there's a 5-yard penalty being walked off. They'll get it back to where it was. It'll be 2nd and 18.
wonder if somebody landed up in the neutral zone. I was looking at our phone there. It's not very professional, but didn't see the play call or didn't see the
Yeah, me too.
penalty
I'm trying
call.
to see. Trying to
We're
find
just
out
wet.
why the camera person is not here. We found out.
Oh, Lordy, Lord.
It's live TV, radio is great. Walden back to pass, throws it out into the flat. A little too tall there for Colton Stern, and that'll bring up 3rd down. And this drive is not going near as well as the first one.
Yeah, they're a little slower getting the play in, but again, Wozniak and Landon Presnell got some penetration there for the Knights, made him probably throw that a little quicker than he wanted to, and so he overthrew his receiver. So it brings up the 3rd down for the Eagles. I'm sorry, G. Like you, I was looking at the wrong roster. We'll get it right.
Yep. Walden back to his end zone, throws, tried to do the wide receiver screen to the right side. Catch is made, but I don't think he's going to get a whole lot of yardage out of that. And they're giving him a gain of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down and 17.
Yeah, again, good job there by Bayon G for the Knights. Get the wrong right roster here.
Yeah,
he read
me
that.
too.
It was almost like a wide receiver screen, so he saw something, quick little play, and he would take one step like he was going to rush and then saw that quick pass and got out, made the tackle from his defensive tackle position. So good job by him.
Punting from the own end zone, gets it away, not very far. It doesn't even get to the line of scrimmage. Bounces at the 24-yard line, and it'll be down there. The punt was by number 81, Grayson Silito, and it didn't go very far.
Didn't hit off his toe very far. Yeah. Got back to the original line. I think he got back to the original 1st down marker.
Yes.
So
He didn't get to the line to gain with that punt. So 2:27 to go, and Lake Norman Charter will take over at the 23-yard line again. So great field position to start their second drive. They punched the first one in for a touchdown. Wignott back to pass, looks, throws. He's got a man downfield, and
he caught it. Wow.
are you kidding me?
Number 4.
It went right through the hands of a Lincoln Charter player, but ends up in the hands of
Eli Washington.
Eli Washington. Number 4, so a 23-yard touchdown pass that went through several hands. And it is another Kiefer Pharmacy of Lincolnton touchdown. So Lincoln Charter getting get behind the 8 ball here very quickly.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Corby. And
Yeah, that didn't start out well either. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is pounded through. So on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it is the Knights 14, the Eagles 0.
It's time to rush in now and pick up some great deals at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. It's Trunk Month, and you don't want to pass on these deals. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Also offered good on the Canyon and the Colorado models. And don't forget to take a look at the Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. It's a touchdown to savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln, online at abernathychevrolet.com.
Escape the elements and get back to comfortable with James River Equipment's Back to Cool special. Step inside a John Deere 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder tractor and enjoy the ultimate operator experience. The premium cab keeps you out of the dust, dirt, and bugs, while air ride seats and quiet climate-controlled interior lets you focus on getting more done. With up to $5,000 off and 0% financing for 72 months, there's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. James River delivers. Ends 9/26/25 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Shelby.
Back here at Lenore Rhine, and it's now 14-0. The Knights over the Eagles, and it's going to be already the third kickoff of the quarter for Mark Fireman. This time he just pounds it down the field. No problem catching it at the 15. Comes up the left sideline. It was returned by Justin Hudgens. Hudgens gets it out to the 31-yard line, and Lincoln Charter will take over there. Just 2:12 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, like I said, I know it's still first quarter, but big possession here. They've, like I said, did a pretty good job on their first possession moving down the field after then the interception. I don't know what was going on that second drive. Nothing was working. Whether the play call coming in or whatnot, but we'll see what they do here in their third attempt.
So 2 wide receivers each side. Benton in the backfield. Motion. Walden fakes the handoff, keeps it, goes to the left side, across the 40, out near the 44-yard line. Good run there. So a run of 13 for Walden there, and it'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Eagles, and that looks more like what they did on the opening drive.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much just let him do his thing. And, get yards. If he reads it, go, and we'll see what happens after that.
Same formation. Again, motion. Handoff goes to Benton, and that's going nowhere. He is hit in the backfield and dropped for a 4-yard loss. Benton has had trouble getting going tonight because Lake Norman Charter players have been in his grill as soon as he's picked up the ball.
Yeah, I think I did notice that one of the keys for Lake Norman Charter has been their defense, one of their strengths. They keeps them in the ball game for most of the schedule, opponents on their schedule. They've done a pretty good job defensively. It's just been the offense here and there that hasn't been able to finish drives.
Yeah, they haven't really didn't have a lot of gaudy yardage on their thing, but when you start at the other team's 23 twice, Walden scrambles all the way to one side, goes back to the other, heaves one downfield. That was quite the play. There is a flag in the defensive backfield. Walden took the snap, ran almost to the far sideline, then came way back down here. And after all that running, it's not surprising that you get an ineligible man downfield.
Yeah, you normally can't really maintain the block. Sometimes you kind of forget where you are, move down the field. I don't know if it was a pass-run option. It ended up being obviously more of a run than a pass. And went all around the field there.
And the Knights have declined that, so it will remain. It'll be third down after the incompletion. It'll be 3rd and 14. This time they've got 3 wide receivers to the left side of the formation. 1 to the wide side. Walden back to pass. Steps up, pulls it down, keeps it, gets across the 40, out to the 45. So it'll be a net of 1 yard on this particular set of downs, and it'll be 4th and 9. So Walden has been their offense tonight, either throwing the ball or running it. Otherwise, it hasn't been going well.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're really only rushing 4, that front 4 for the Knights. And then they're still getting good penetration and as well as having good coverage downfield, and that's why he's had to pull it and run it.
Eli Hobbs on to punt this time. Low snap. He keeps it. It's going to be a fake because of the snap, and he's going to be well short of the first down. He's taken out of bounds at the 49-yard line, a good 5 yards short of the line to gain, so it will be 1st and 10, yet again in Eagles territory. But that's the end of the first quarter. We'll be back with a second quarter after this. It's 14-0, Lake Norman Charter.
It's time to rush in now and pick up some great deals at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. It's Trunk Month, and you don't want to pass on these deals. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Also, all for good on the Canyon and the Colorado models. And don't forget to take a look at the Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. It's a touchdown to savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln, online at abernathychevrolet.com.
Escape the elements.
Sorry. We're back.
Back now for the second quarter. Again, Lincoln County High School football is brought to you by Bugbusters of Lincolnton. They're our title sponsor. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights at the Eagles' 49-yard line. Third straight possession. They've started in plus territory. Handoff goes to Dotson. He's around the left side, and he's going to have that forward for about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, good push up front, but they're getting in that hurry up, getting ready to run the second play.
Handoff, and it's an end around. Fake comes back the other direction, and there's a lot of real estate that's being covered. That is Dorian Morgan, and he is going to take it on the reverse all the way into the end zone. It's another Kiever Pharmacy touchdown for the Knights of Lake Norman Charter. It started out with Dotson going around the side like he normally does, but then he handed off to Morgan. Morgan comes whipping around the left side of the formation and goes untouched 46 yards into the end zone.
And his lead blocker was the quarterback, Wigno, but it didn't really need him because there was nobody over there to block. So good play call there by the Knights with the extra point to follow.
So Morgan with a 46-yard touchdown run. And Weeman, who's been busy, will be on again, and he knocks through the James River Equipment extra point. So with 11:25 to go in the second quarter, this one's starting to get ugly early. It's Lake Norman Charter leading 21-0.
It's time to rush in now and pick up some great deals at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. It's Trunk Month, and you don't want to pass on these deals. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Also, all for good on the Canyon and the Colorado models. And don't forget to take a look at the Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. It's a touchdown to savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln, online at abernathychevrolet.com.
Escape the elements and get back to comfortable with James River Equipment's Back to Cool special. Step inside a John Deere 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder tractor and enjoy the ultimate operator experience. The premium cab keeps you out of the dust, dirt, and bugs, while air ride seats and quiet climate-controlled interior lets you focus on getting more done. With up to $5,000 off and 0% financing for 72 months, there's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. James River delivers. Ends 9/26/25 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Shelby.
By Vyman, it's fielded at the 20-yard line. Kind of a short kick. Hutchins brings it back, and he'll get it out to the 36-yard line where Lincoln Charter will start again and hope to do something to get some offense and some points going.
Like I say, they can't really give Walden time back there, and then when he does get time, then there's nobody open downfield. So the Knights are just doing a great job after that first drive.
Yeah,
where they did get some yardage and the interception, unfortunately, but after that they haven't done anything.
Walden keeps it, fakes the handoff to Benton, goes around the left side, breaks one tackle, gets across midfield, fumbles. Now, was it covered in bounds? Lake Norman Charter saying they recovered it in bounds, and the referees agree. So Walden with a great run there of 18 yards, but fumbles, and that's going to give the ball back.
Yeah, I think he was just, again, trying to get some kind of spark going there for the Eagles. Broke about 3 tackles until he got down there, and I'm not sure he got punched out. He just tried to make that one extra move and lost it. It is a cooler night. I don't know if that ball is slick, but good job there again by the Knights, taking advantage of that turnover by the Eagles.
So their worst field position of the game, they're starting on their own side of the field.
Their own 46.
Their own 46 is their worst field
God,
position.
what are they going to
This
do
is
here?
their 4th possession. God, long field, are they going to be able to handle all that? Handoff, Dodson, now fake, kept by Wignott. He goes around the left side. I bid on the fake. And he gets out to the 49-yard line for a gain of 3. First carry by somebody other than Dodson. But he at least touched the ball on the one play, too. So 2nd and 7. Dodson gets it this time, goes through the left side, gets through the first line of defense, brought down by the linebackers. He gets 4 on the play. I'm just going to let the PA announcer say what it is.
Yeah,
We're picking him up pretty good. He's doing fine, despite his wardrobe. And it'll be 3rd and 3. 10 minutes to go in the first half. 21-0, Lake Norman Charter. Pitch goes to Dodson. He's got space out on the right side, gets through the linebackers. It's finally brought down at the 36-yard line after a gain of 12 and a Turner Hauser Insurance first down. Little option look there.
Yeah, they kind of put a little wingback tight end look because he's got a pretty good size there, number 80. There's Wozniak again on this side of the ball, did a good job of blocking. He just went right around that last guy in the line of scrimmage for the Eagles, and that's what the pitch man pitched off of.
Dodson takes the handoff, goes around the left side, gets inside one tackler, gets across the 30, down to the 27-yard line. So it'll be a gain of 9, and he's just short of the first down. It's going to be a really short. It might be a short one even. As the second down marker is not very far from the line to gain. Needs to get to the 26. Looks like it's about the 26.5. Man in motion. Switch the tight end to the other side. Snap. Wignott back. Looks. He's got Dodson out in the flat. Nope. He's got another one downfield. Catch is made by number 12, Devin Chu. And it's a Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
First down and 10 for Lake Norman Charter from the 18. First and 10.
Yeah, they're just doing a good job kind of mixing the run and the pass. They just and a little option here and there, a little rollout pass there, and the receiver comes back for it, runs a little dig route, picks up again another Turner Hauser Insurance first down, and they're inside the 20.
Red zone time again for the Knights, looking to take a 4-touchdown lead. Wignott back to pass, throws, and is a flag down as he overthrows his receiver in the end zone. We'll wait and see what the call is.
Preliminary call is holding.
The first thing that's probably slowed down Lake Norman Charter tonight.
Yeah, probably some penetration there from the Eagles. Finally got in there, and then saw number 77 for the Knights, Bayin G. I think he was the one that was guilty of the infraction, but that'll bring up a 1st and 19 for the Knights. I get 1st and 19 on a 10-yard penalty, but all right.
Yeah, call it 20. Wignott again with time, throws, gets a quick pass out to number 2, Dorian Morgan, who scored the touchdown on the end around. So the pass is complete, and that's 4 straight completions now.
Second down and 14 from the 22-yard line.
Yeah, Dorian Morgan, we said, was one of those key players of the game to keep an eye on, and he's listed as a senior. Quick little back out there.
I wonder if he runs track. Looks like he could. 100, 200, that sort of thing. He had that kind of speed. He just blew past everybody. Back to pass, Wignott again. Tries to float one for the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. Defender all over the receiver, number 10, Tristan English. But there's a flag on the play back at the 21-yard line.
I'm wondering if this is after the play, as the Knights are still moving towards the extra point attempt. We'll see what the call is.
Dead ball foul, personal foul against Lincoln Charter. That's very dramatic.
Yeah, he was
Signal he gives there. There's kind of a pause between each motion for emphasis. So it is a Kiefer Pharmacy Insurance touchdown for, and they'll take the penalty on the kickoff.
Although okay, there he goes. All
Okay, how long was that play again? About 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 yards. That's what it was. So an 18-yard touchdown pass. Caught in the end zone by, it was Morgan again. Kick by Weeman is up. Doesn't quite get all of it this time, but it goes through and it's good. So the James River Equipment PAT is good, and with 7:25 to go in the first half, it's Lake Norman Charter 28, Lincoln Charter 0.
CF Moto is clicking on all cylinders during their clearance sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports and Law. Get financing as low as 0% and up to $1,500 cash back on CF Moto models. And check out the Suzuki DRZ 4S motorbike with financing at 4.99% for 36 months. And the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event is underway. Get 0% for 60 months or $3,000 customer cash back. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Law, online at ncfullthrottlepowersports.com. You can.
Back here now, the penalty will be marked off. Penalty is against Lincoln Charter.
Probably more of a frustration now that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
up 4 touchdowns.
Shocking, don't you think?
Down 28-0 here with 7:25 to go in the first half. But great little play there. Yeah, it was kind of, they ran it to the double side, and the inside slot receiver kind of ran like he was going to run a post and then broke it out, and a great throw by Wignott to English for the fourth night touchdown.
It had to be, too, because it wasn't that bad a coverage.
Right.
The DB for Lincoln Charter was right on his shoulder, but the pass was just out of his reach and right within the reach of Tristan English. So a touchback will give the ball to Lincoln Charter starting at their own 20. 7:21 to go in the first half. Let's see if they can, I don't know, is there another way to turn over the ball? Interception, a punt, a fake punt on downs, and a fumble. Those are the 4 possessions. Is there any other way?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think that's the. I think they've hit the grand slam there. So Walden in the shotgun, Benton behind him. Hand off to Benton. They're trying to keep him honest. They're not throwing every play. But Benton, again, have trouble getting traction. He actually gains a yard this time.
Brings up a 2nd down and 8.
Well, I think they're trying to just now kind of get back to the basics, kind of stop the bleed here a little bit, just run a little play, get some kind of positive yards, and hopefully get some momentum.
Walden back to pass, throws one towards the sideline. Dangerous play there. Number 5, Sander Griffin, came over from a safety position, got a hand on it. I'm sorry, that's number 10. That's English, came over from a safety position. So he's throwing into double coverage there, and it falls harmlessly to the turf, incomplete, but it brings up 3rd and 8.
That's what I mean. They're just trying to force some things. Just, maybe just try to get some kind of positive yards. So it's obviously not working with what they're doing.
Walden back, screen set up, and he overthrows his receiver, Benton. Benton jumped for it, but it still went off his fingertips, incomplete. And it looked like it was set up fairly decently.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think you're right. Yeah, if he would have just a little bit better pass on it, wasn't like it, I don't think it was the receiver. That's just Walden again getting a little frustrated. Didn't really think he needed. He's tall as he is. He doesn't really need it. He looked like he kind of jumped to throw that down there.
So Silito comes on to punt, or attempt to punt this time. As he tried the last time, the snap was bad. This time he gets off the kick, spiral, goes down the field, hits about the 48-yard line, and rolls and rolls and rolls all the way to the 41 of the Eagles, or Knights rather. So a good punt there. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 41 again. Horrible field position.
One of these days they might get back inside the 30 or something. I don't know.
I don't know. If they don't get the offense going and then at least get a punt, force them to start there.
Of course, I mean, are they 4 for 4 anyway? It doesn't really matter where they're starting.
Not so far. Let's see if they can do the drive for 5 here. Little different formation. 1 wide receiver to each side, 2 tight ends. Maybe they're going to try and burn a little clock here. Hand off to Dotson. Gets away from one tackler in the backfield. Gets away from another. Holding is probably going to be called on the wide receiver out here as there's a flag down at the 41-yard line.
Gain of 11, but there's a flag on the play
And it is holding.
on the offense.
It's out here where the wide receiver, and why he grabbed him, I don't know, because he's a good 25 yards away
Right.
from where the play actually went to.
Yeah, he's lined up just about where the numbers are, and the play was just off tackle.
Previous spot was the 41-yard line.
No sense in doing any of that. I think they're trying to figure out where the marker was. Or
Yeah,
where.
Yeah, I've got the 41, folks. As the
There
PA
we go.
announcer, there we go. Thing was, one referee signaled first down, so the chains took off. And we get a
So go to there. You go. That was first down.
okay
Now-
from there. There we go. Keep going to the 31. All right. So it's going to be 1st and 20 from the 31. Got to cheer on the officials here now and then.
It'll be 1st and 10. First check that. 1st and 20 from the 31.
All right, now we're ready.
So same formation, 2 tight ends, something a little different. Wignott back to pass, throws. He's going downfield for the home run ball. Oh, and it went right off the hands. He had the receiver open by 3 yards. It was Dorian Morgan, and he could not catch the ball because otherwise he's still running. I mean, it's Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run.
And that was in stride. That was
Oh, beautiful pass.
About perfect as you could get. I don't know if he was surprised that it was right there, but
I don't.
again,
You know, how do you eat with those hands?
if you look at the cover 2 safeties, they're only about 8 yards off the line. So man,
Yeah.
I want to look at that later on in the ball game.
Here we go. This time coming back to Washington. Catches a pass out in the flat, moves it back to the center of the field, and he'll get 16 yards on that catch. So 1st and 20. Now they've got it down to a manageable 3rd and 4. Again, Wignott back to pass, throws, man open, goes down, and he makes the catch. That's Sander Griffin. And it'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
That's number 9. Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry, 9?
Yeah, it's okay. I think
Okay.
he called the same, but that was number 9.
Handoff goes to Dodson through the left side. Good yardage on first down after the Turner Hauser Insurance first down. Catch was made. That was number 9, Liam McDonald. Hey, a great play there. So they gain 10, and then the carry by Dodson will gain 3. Teams are going fast here. I'm trying to write down and call the play. They're keeping me busy. And here we go, another end around. That's a quarterback, and it's going to be a halfback option. Pass is caught by Wignott, but a good open field tackle. And last thing Lake Norman Charter needs to see, or Lincoln Charter, is another player down. So let's see, number 4, Washington threw it. Wignott catch it. and he gets about 4 yards on that. So pretty good coverage there by.
I believe that was the
Lincoln Charger.
tackler, De Hoyos.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of our players, key players to watch. I think he might have got the wind knocked out of him. They're just kind of looking at him, and yeah, I think he's got the wind knocked out of him. He might have landed on
On a
quarterback
foot or
or a
something.
foot or yeah, whatever.
A foot right under the pads there, just below him.
Because he's up. Yeah, I think it looks like it was.
Walking a little gingerly. May not just have been wind.
Kind of interesting for the Knights. A lot of different little formations and good play calls, and the quarterback does a good job of reading. I think he pretty much picks out where he's going to go relatively quick and puts a good ball out there to his receivers.
So it'll be 3rd and 3. The ball's at the Eagles' 37-yard line. They need to get to 34. That's the line to gain for another first down. So Dodson deep in the eye. Wignott hands off to him. Lots of room around the left side. He's got a first down as he's across the 30, dragged down at the 27.
The carry will have a first down, brings the ball down to the 27. Tackle made by Hutchins. 1st and 10 for Lake Norman Charter.
One of the bright spots for the Eagles, Hutchins, that's his 4th tackle here in the first half. Of course, the issue is he's a safety.
Yeah, that's never good when your deep players are making tackles. So again, ball on the 28. Wignott back to pass, looks, throwing a slant to the inside, and the receiver didn't break that off quite enough, and it was actually closer to the defender.
For number 2, Morgan.
And now we've got an Eagle. Here, and I knew this was going to happen. I got to stick with. We got a Knights lineman down on the field. That's number 59, Wyatt Heron. So while they attend to him, we'll take a quick timeout here and be back. It's 28-0, Lake Norman Charter.
Book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Well, as we come back from commercial, we are sitting at 2nd down and 10 for the Knights. And now they're kind of back to more of their spread type of offense. Wigno back to pass. That's intercepted. I don't know who he was throwing to there, but there's Hutchins again. As I mentioned him earlier, he has 4 tackles on the night. Stepped right in front of that one for the first turnover for the Eagles.
First stoppage of the night for the Eagles.
It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles on the 30-yard line.
So with 4:10 to go here in the first half, the Eagles will take over at their own 30-yard line. That was the first errant anything by the Knights. That wasn't anybody, I don't think anywhere within 5 yards of that. So Wigno turns it over for the Knights, and the Eagles, let's see if they can at least get something going. I'd just like to see them just
get something
just
on the
get
board.
positive yards. Yeah, they're trying to force a lot of things downfield, and there's just nothing there. Get back to what they did in that first drive they had to start the game.
Walden in the shotgun. Takes a snap, drops back, looks, throws the flat. Catch is made there by number 10, Isaac Wilson. Wilson turns it back inside, and he gets a Turner Hauser Insurance first down after the 15-yard completion. And that's what you were saying.
Yeah, like I say, he just ran a straight pattern like he was going to go deep, put his foot into the ground, turned around. Nice little 8-yard out, and then got some yards after the catch. Now we're moving the ball. We're up near the midfield.
Ball's at the 45, handoff to Benton, and this has not worked all night long. And number 54, who we talked about before the game, Henry Casey, who's had 8 tackles for loss, now has 9. And has just not worked the rushing game for, except for Walden.
Right.
Anybody else running the ball, I mean, that's already 1, 2, 3, 4 plays for losses on the running game. Quick pass out to the far sideline, catch is made, and it gets some of the yardage back, and more gets 7 on that play. Catch is made by Tristan English, and he gets about 7 yards.
Well, that was the
Third and
tackler for the Knights was English.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Who caught
Number
the
5?
pass?
Was that number 5? Is that Stern for them? I think that was Colin Stern out of the backfield, ran a little
Okay.
out pattern.
Yeah, number 5, not 15. That was close. Walden keeps it after faking. Back, looks, doesn't want to throw now as he's probably going to have somebody downfield, and he just throws it into the cheerleaders.
Yeah, he was looking for number 3, Brody Ward. A good job covered there by English on the scramble. He was looking, wasn't sure whether to run it or throw it, kept pump faking, and then eventually just threw it down deep, as you mentioned, out of bounds. So that'll bring up 4th down for the Eagles. And so we have trips to the right, to the left. We have a single receiver, one back next to Walden. As it gets so we'll see what the Eagles have in mind. Quick kick. Nobody back, of course, to receive. As it good, smart idea there. And now that'll bring the ball down to the, as it rolls, to the 4-yard line. So good play there by the Eagles. And the quick kick by Walden. And so with 2:36 to go here in the first half, the Knights will take over inside their own 5-yard line. So we'll take a quick commercial timeout, and we'll be back.
Some people say there are doers, and there are dreamers. But what's wrong with a little dreaming, especially when it's shared? With hard work, little dreams grow into big ones. At Kubota, we know that your work never stops, and we're inspired by those who dream. But our equipment is built for dreamers and doers, like you. Kubota, built for those who do.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain.
So as we come back out of the timeout, Wigno keeps the quarterback keeper, gets about a half a yard, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Knights. Tackle by number 82 for the Eagles. That is Ethan Etchison, so it is now 2nd and 9. Wigno back to pass.
And he catches the receiver in stride, and he's going to be gone to the end zone. It's Dorian Morgan again on a pattern. Just caught it, about a 15-yard pass, and then with his speed, here we go. A little bit of dancing at the back of the end zone. And he outran the referees, too.
Might not have even seen him dance.
No, they didn't, because they were too busy running down the field.
94-yard catch and run, Wigno to Morgan. We said that was the one they tried earlier that bounced off his chest. We said they might come back to that and run it again. Perfect play to do it. And now with 1:52 to go, it's 34-0 Knights. Extra point attempt.
A James River extra point attempt by Veerman. Snap, hold, the kick is up. And it is good. So with 1:52 to play in the first half, it's now 35-0. Lake Norman Charter pulling away.
Is your home or business in need of a new roof or gutters? Look no further than Gutter Guys. Gutter Guys provides complete gutter and roofing solutions in our entire area, and even in Columbia, South Carolina. With over 22 years' experience, Gutter Guys specializes in metal and shingle roofing, seamless gutters, and copper works. If your roof and gutters need some attention, Gutter Guys is here to help you. No job is too big or too small. So give them a call today at 704-879-4384 for Gutter Guys. Serving the Carolinas since 2003.
That's pretty. So back here now at Lenoir-Rhyne, Mark Vieman. I'll get there right eventually because he's kicked off. This is his 6th kickoff already.
Well, 5 for 5 on the PATs and 6 kickoffs. Hasn't had to punt yet.
They haven't even lined up the punt.
Like I say, what, they're 5 of 6 on possessions, and the one that they didn't get was the interception.
Yeah. So 94-yard touchdown pass. And it's getting ugly. Catch is made on the kickoff at the 11-yard line. Good return out to the 30.
Kickoff return brought back to the 30.
Number 11,
First and 10 for the
who we do
Eagles
not have
at the 30-yard line.
on the roster. Just add to all the fun of this evening. So the first. So they will start. Only 1:40 left, but they have all of their timeouts. If they can get something going here, they're going to start at the 30 again. Lake Norman gets a player off the field just in time. Snap goes to Benton. And nothing much there. He's going to lose a yard.
Ball carrier is Benton. Loss of 1. It will be second and
I think he's probably on a first-name basis with a defensive line for Lake Norman Charter at this point.
Yeah, Henry Casey again. I think it was like the instant replay from the last possession. Off tackle right into Casey. -1.
Walden back to pass, steps up, and now he's going to keep it, gets to the 30, 35-yard line. It's brought down there, gain of 6.
7 to the 36. It will be a 3rd down and 4.
So clock is running inside a minute.
Yeah, I think they're just going to see what they get here, and if it gets to halftime, so be it.
Yeah, it's 3rd down. If they run a play here and don't like the result, they can let the clock roll. And Walden just keeps it. Yeah, they're throwing in the towel, it looks like. So gain of 1 will be 4th down unless Lake Norman Charter calls a timeout. That's probably going to be the final play of the first half. And at this point, let it roll. No, they're going to try and get another one off here.
Well, maybe a Hail Mary.
18 seconds currently. And the clock stopped with 11. We're going to have an offside penalty against Lake Norman Charter.
I just love seeing the head official here. He's just very dramatic with his cause.
It is. It's pretty cool, actually.
He makes sure he gets the right team, and then he gets
Then
the
he
call.
has a pause. And then he points. He gives the penalty. Quick pass out in the flat. Catch is made. And it's going to be well short of the first down. Oh, wait, they got the first down on the penalty. Never mind. And that will do it. It's halftime here at Lenoir-Rhyne. And it's been all nights as they have a 35-0 lead over Lincoln Charter. We'll be back with a stadium halftime show after these commercial messages.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. There might be other Coyote tractor dealers in the area, but there is only one that stands above the rest, and that's Weston Sales in Vail. There's a reason they have been one of the top-selling Coyote tractor dealers in America today. Some reasons could be quality of service, friendly people, and yes, price. They will not be undersold on a new Coyote tractor. There's one waiting for you, Coyote and Weston Sales, synonymous in the tractor industry today. See them at 110 Highway 18 North in Vail, online at westonsales.com. Like them on Facebook too. Applying for a car loan has never been easier than now at Jeff's Auto Sales in Lincoln and Shelby. Just apply online and get your financing pre-approved. Just go to jeffsautosales.com. And remember, they are the home of the $500 down payment. And shop online for your next vehicle. See the entire selection, pick out the one you want, and just apply online. That's Jeff Auto Sales, 3081 East Highway 27 in Lincoln, 4490 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Again, apply online at jeffsautosales.com. Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too. Be prepared for the flu season. Stop in with no appointment necessary at Kiever Pharmacy in Lincoln. They do all types of vaccinations, including flu shots, and now they are recommending pneumonia shots for those over the age of 50. Kiever Pharmacy features personalized care. See them at 1814 East Main Street in Lincoln, next to Chick-fil-A. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Call 704-735-9072. Online at KieverPharmacy.com. Like them on Facebook too. Got water problems? Then call the Warden. That's the Warden Companies in Lincoln. No matter your water problems, Gary Ward and the Warden Companies can help. From basement and crawl space encapsulation to water damage restoration, from mold and mildew remediation to structural repair, also foundation drainage and repair. And they repair dehumidifiers and do home remodeling too. Call the Warden Companies in Lincoln. Call 704-860-9800, a division of Bug Busters.
Drum Major Chloe Haverty, is your band ready?
Bug Busters of Lincolnton now has a new location at 2863 NC Highway 27 West and Highway 150 Business intersection right across from Sane Hardware. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters, of course. Serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control and waterproofing. Call 704-732-2227 and visit the website at bugbusters.com. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
The Drive into Fall event is underway at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln, putting performance in your hands. Just announce, finance, and get 0% APR financing for 72 months or $7,750 in retail cash allowances toward the purchase of a new 2025 Dodge Charger Daytona. For details, see Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln during the Drive into Fall event.
You're seeing the halftime in your camera, right? Is it plugged into the side of the camera? Did that come loose? Can you unplug that again and then just plug it back in? We'll just try to grab it.
She get an image on the camera.
Back now at Lenoir-Rhyne, and we have a picture. Woohoo!
It's just like the last game. It wasn't about halftime when we got going last time.
Yeah, that seems about right, but it wasn't us this time. I forget what happened last time, but it's actually working. So here's the deal. Between that and trying to get the camera person here, it's not her fault.
No.
She went to the right place to start with. It was somebody else, then she got sent here. So we appreciate Gracie being here, and I know my stats aren't good, so I'm just going to dump out of them. Let's go back to some of the stuff I was talking about. Lincoln County. Okay, first of all, the stadium halftime show is brought to you by Gutter Guys of Kings Mountain. What I do have is information on some of the other sports going on. We mentioned women's tennis earlier. 5A, it was the East Lincoln show, as they had the first and second place individual and singles, one of the top 8 in doubles, and they won the team title today, 5-1 over Durham School of the Arts. So pretty much a clean sweep for the Mustangs in girls tennis this year. In the 3A, Kennedy McCumber of West Lincoln won in the first round of the finals and lost in the second round to Madison Utz of Pine Lake Prep. 4A, Ava Cochran of Lincoln Charter lost to Morgan Stowe of Carborough in the quarterfinals, the opening match of the final 8. So that's it for women's tennis, and that is done for the season, so we can mark that one off. Also on the team side, Lincoln Charter lost to Lake Norman Charter in the state semifinals on Tuesday. I'm amazed that they could find a way to play tennis on Tuesday from what the weather was here. That's pretty amazing they even got that in.
Yeah, it was afternoon. It was a little bit better. It cleared up for a little bit. It was really, Monday, Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday was just awful. But I could maybe see it.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
Yeah, the courts get dried off enough, away you go.
Get the old squeegee out.
Yeah. Get the blowers out. Just help it along. And the women's golf also was played somewhat this week. 3A, Melanie Hoffman and tied for 7th, and Ainsley Howard tied for 10th of West Lincoln, as the 3A and 4A only got in one round due to garbage weather down at Pinehurst at Longleaf. And the 4A West, or the 4A, Kaylin Cherry of Lincoln Charter tied for 20th. Again, they also went just 18 holes. On the 5A side, East Lincoln finished second as a team behind South Point by 8 shots. They've managed to get in 27 holes at Stonebridge Golf Club. That's a round and a half. And then here we go with East Lincoln again. Kennedy Galatine is a freshman, won the individual by 7 shots. And her teammates Megan Arnett were 11th and Madeline Reynolds tied for 15th. Cross country, some of it got done today, some of it did not. They will have 4 classes again tomorrow, including North Lincoln. The boys and girls both won their regionals. The boys will run tomorrow at 9 a.m., the girls at 10:20 a.m. The North Lincoln girls are prohibitive favorites for a 6th straight state title, which would be a new state record streak. The boys almost had it a couple years ago, and it ran a horrible meet. They would have won 6 in a row. Now it's the girls' turn to give it a try. Let's see. On the 3A side, West Lincoln ran today, both their teams. The boys were led by Anderson Wise, 62nd place individual finish and a 14th place team finish. Shelby was 6th on the boys' side. And for the girls, Jaleese Campbell finished 29th individually and led the team to a 9th place finish. Men's soccer is just about to get underway. The regular season's over. They will do the seedings and pairings for the bracket starting Sunday, and the first round's supposed to be on Monday? I don't think that's going to happen, is it?
I wanted to say they usually go 3 games in the first week, so I'm thinking Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Well, that would be
correctly.
That's not the third then, because if they're only getting the brackets done on Sunday, I don't see any way that people are going to play matches on Monday.
Right.
You got officials and buses and everything else to get. And then volleyball, let's see. Lincolnton lost to Pine Lake Prep, who's in the final match. They at least lost to a team that's going to be at least a state finalist. And West Lincoln lost to Drawn, who's also going to be in the Final Four. So the Lincolnton and West Lincoln teams ran into some 3A buzzsaws there. They're going to be in the final. And Lincoln Charter lost to Lake Norman Charter 3-0. That's what I was saying. This might be a rivalry very quickly. They seem to be meeting in almost every sport. And the final was today at 3 o'clock. I don't have the result of that yet, or 5 o'clock rather. And then tomorrow, number 1 seed Hickory is in the finals. Oh, that's 7:30 tonight. Okay. So that's going on right now, or that's probably going on right now.
Okay.
So that is a wrap-up of some of the things going on with Lincoln County athletes in the state playoffs. So we'll be back with more after this. You're listening to the Stadium Halftime Show, brought to you by Gutter Guys of Kings Mountain.
It's time to rush in now and pick up some great deals at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. It's trunk month, and you don't want to pass on these deals. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Also offer good on the Canyon and the Colorado models. And don't forget to take a look at the Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. It's a touchdown to savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln, online at abernathychevrolet.com.
Escape the elements and get back to comfortable with James River Equipment's Back to Cool special. Step inside a John Deere 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder tractor and enjoy the ultimate operator experience. The premium cab keeps you out of the dust, dirt, and bugs, while air ride seats and quiet climate-controlled interior lets you focus on getting more done. With up to $5,000 off and 0% financing for 72 months, there's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. James River delivers. Ends 9/26/25 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Shelby.
So back here, Lenore Rhine. We've got everything up and running for the moment. Fingers crossed. It is Halloween. Spooky things can happen.
Good. That's right.
So let's take a look at some of the scores on the out-of-town scoreboard. Scott, take it away.
All right. Well, we have just the Lincoln County scores, those that are playing. Of course, East Lincoln has a bye, and they may have a 2-week bye because next week's supposed to be the first round, and though they should be, without question, one of the top 8 or 16, however it's divided.
Right now, they're 1.
Yeah, because I don't think with Hickory, I think that's going to change. But either way, yeah, they're going to get a bye, so they're going to get a chance to rest up here for a couple weeks. But on the out-of-town that are playing, we've got in the second quarter North Lincoln 7 and Ford 7. And then the only games that has 2 Lincoln County teams facing each other is Lincolnton 14 and West Lincoln 0. Lincolnton had a bye last week, so we covered the game a couple weeks ago when they kind of got banged up a little bit against Stuart Kramer and had their winning streak stopped in the conference, and so that bye week probably came at a pretty good time for Lincolnton, and so they're up there on West Lincoln 14-0. And that's the only scores I have at the moment. I'll get to What's Up Shopper here in a second. But
yeah, looking at some of the other games in the area, some of the bigger ones we're looking at, Burns and Shelby in that same conference, they're fighting it out. Both are 6-1, but somebody's got. I think they have both lost to Lincolnton, so Lincolnton will hold the tiebreaker. As long as they win, they will be the conference champ by tiebreaker. Let's see, some of the others. Maiden's at Newton Conover. 2 teams that are having a very good season. One's 6-3. Newton Conover 7-2. And then Bandy's is at Hickory. And let's see. Then in this the conference involving Lake Norman Charter and Lincoln Charter, let's see. Corvion has already finished the season 6-0 in conference. They'll be the conference champions. Team that went to the state finals last year and then got beat by Tarboro, but then who doesn't normally?
Right.
The one game that caught both of our eyes is South Point. Who are they playing?
They are playing, I'll go back to my notes, they are playing Ambassador Christian School.
They're over in Huntersville, I believe.
I think that's correct. They are, Ambassador is 5-3-1. So I guess that was supposed to have been South Point's bye, and so they filled it in with this. I think it's a new team. I didn't even have a chance to even research and see who they are.
I had to look up just to see where they were.
Right.
It's like, who is this team and where are they located? And then Ashbrook is at Hunter Huss. That's a rivalry game, so you never know what can happen there. Creston Kings Mountain looks to be probably the best matchup in that conference. And then finally, Mountain Island Charter is hosting North Rowan, and in that conference, North Rowan, North Stanley, and South Stanley are all tied for first at 5-1. So Mountain Island Charter seeing if they can spoil it for North Rowan, who did lose to Lake Norman Charter, if I remember correctly, in their schedule. So that's a look at some of the games that are in the area. And we'll be ready for the second half kickoff here in a minute.
CF Moto is clicking on all cylinders during their clearance sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports and Law. Get financing as low as 0% and up to $1,500 cash back on CF Moto models. And check out the Suzuki DRZ 4S motorbike with financing at 4.99% for 36 months. And the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event is underway. Get 0% for 60 months or $3,000 customer cash back. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Law, online at ncfullthrottlepowersports.com.
It's back here at Lenore Rhine. The question is, it's 35-0. We may have a running clock here.
Looks like you're down officials talking with Bias, I believe.
Yes.
On the near side here. I think it's what we had at Corvian, right? It was pretty close.
Well, what did it end
As
up?
far as the
52-7.
distance,
Yeah.
yeah. They had the running clock going. You mentioned that, yeah. I mean, the Lincoln Charter Eagles are probably going to squeak in as the 48th or 47th seed. And what are they, 4A? Is that right?
Yeah, they're 4A. So is Lake Norman Charter. They're both 4A teams.
But again, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, we kind of had a preliminary sort of look at the brackets, but again, with so many teams getting in, and then just, where the divided line in, just based on classification. You really don't know who's what, who's where. We know the 1A and the 8As are probably going to have a bye at the end. I think I looked at something where instead of the bye next week, because there's less teams, they're going to have a bye, like a 2-week break before the finals, which was interesting.
Okay.
Like
I'll
a
have to
Super
look
Bowl
that up.
break type of thing.
"Geez." Yeah, and that always gives you such a great game when that happens. So kickoff goes to Lake Norman Charter. They get it. And he gets it to the 37 or 32-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lake Norman Charter there. Again, their second worst field position to start a drive.
Yeah,
But it really hasn't hurt them.
out of the quick kick that the Eagles had, pinned them on the 5, and they ran 2 plays. They got a quarterback sneak for a yard, and then the 94-yard touchdown to Dorian. On that one. So didn't matter. It doesn't matter where they start.
Well, if somebody comes at a Lincoln Charter defensive back named Morgan, they should just tackle him right now and not wait. Tackle him off the line of scrimmage. Handoff goes to number 6, Nolan Walters, as they are already starting to empty the bench. And we're down to 10:43 already, so I believe we do have the running clock going. Because that kickoff didn't take that long. One play didn't. Handoff goes to same back, Nolan Walters. He goes around the left side. He gains 1 yard. So 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to kind of run some off tackles. We'll see what they do. Dorian Morgan looks like he's up top, split out to the right.
And they're going to let that one go.
I guess not.
Or not. There was kind of a delay there. Thought for sure they were going to throw a flag, and they finally did. It's a false start, so that's why there was a bit of a question. Only the 3rd penalty on Lincoln Charter, Lake Norman Charter. There we go. I knew I'd do it at some point.
Well, you wonder if temperatures dropped quite a bit. Maybe it's just taking a while to get going. Everybody's kind of frozen here. Coolest night of the year so far.
Wignott back to pass. He's got a reception to Washington. Washington catches it, goes out near midfield. So Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
It's interesting. They kind of, when they throw it left, they try to hit Eli Washington. When they go right, it's Dorian Morgan. So keep an eye on that. What if they throw it?
Handoff. Again, it's Walters. Walters goes to the left side of the line. Gain of 3. And this is a formation they had some good success with as well. 2 tight ends, only 1 wide receiver on each side. Wignott back to pass, throws it over the hands of Dorian Morgan, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, again, just a couple little dig routes, running about 8 yards, turn around for the ball. That one's just high and outside from Wignott. A couple errant passes. Obviously, the one that was intercepted was the other one I can think of.
But not too many others. Lofts this one towards the sideline, into the hands and knocked out of the hands.
I think that's 80 Wozniak.
Trying to catch the ball.
But a good throw.
It was. It hit him right in the hands. It's just he got hit by a defender right as he got near the sideline, and it popped out of his hands. So for the first time tonight.
What is this?
It is a punt, sir. It's a punt by Lake Norman Charter. High snap, but no rush. Nice kick there. Gets it off, lands at about the 20. And why is he going to pick that up?
I don't know.
Unless it touched somebody. So it'll be 1st and 10. Yeah, we do have a running clock. It's still going. So this will be a fairly short half here, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that hit an eagle. The eagle was in the area when it did land. Did hear some screams from the sideline. Maybe that been a touch, so maybe just better safe than sorry. Go ahead and jump on it. And so the Eagles will take over at their own 4.
Keeper there. Maybe gets a yard.
Walden has a carry for 1 yard, a 2nd down and 9 for Lincoln Charter.
They look like they were maybe trying to run some sort of option, but he just kind of kept it and tried to get by number 24 for the Knights, Colton Clark, but a good tackle.
For some reason, that name sounds familiar, but I couldn't figure out why.
Is there a Colton Clark on another, or a Colton?
And
Might be the same name on a different team, like West Lincoln or somebody.
maybe that's what it is. Pass out in the flat. It's a little too tall. Tried to lead. Drazen Mayfield was the intended receiver. It falls incomplete. Again, just throwing it a little high when he doesn't really need to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he thought Mayfield would have kept running. Mayfield kind of broke out and then stopped. So you're wondering if Holden's thinking he's going to keep running. Walden's going to keep running. That's why he's throwing that, because that's been 2 or 3 times tonight that he's done that.
Yes. Inside 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, Lincoln County High School football is brought to you by our title sponsor, Bugbusters of Lincolnton. And it's 3rd down.
Got a flag. I don't know if somebody's lined up offside or what.
Not sure what that's about. Yes. Good call there. 5-yard penalty against Lake Norman Charter. And that makes it 3rd and somewhat manageable, a short 5 yards.
Walden's kind of not sure he's exactly 100%. Kind of keeps grabbing his right hip.
Man in motion, handoff goes to Benton. He's actually got room. Gets across the 10, across the 20-yard line, out to the 22. And that'll be Turner Hauser Insurance first down. I had to remember the sponsor because I haven't said it for them much tonight since the first drive. So positive yardage for Benton there for once. Not his fault.
Yeah, I thought he was going to run into 54 Casey again. It looked like that. I swear, I was like, I just saw that the first half. But he cut it up, so a good run there, good gain, and a first down for the Eagles.
19-yard gain. Walden back, pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. Walden and Benton are looking at each other. I'm wondering.
Yeah, that pass was tipped, so I don't know
Yeah.
why they're even.
I'm not sure what the question is. 2nd and 10, hand off to Benton. A little bit yardage there. He's trying to make it seem like he actually landed on the pile and wasn't down. But the referee said, no, you were down. And that will be enough, young man. He gets 2 yards on that, so that gets him out to the 26 and brings up 3rd and 8.
Like I said, I know we've covered the Eagles a couple times this year, but injuries just kind of derailed the season for them.
It really did.
You don't want to obviously make excuses, but, when you're trying to get the program going and you got a bunch of injuries, it just knocks the winds out of you sometimes, some seasons.
Well, it's time of year, though, when a lot of teams are starting to hurt, but they started hurting well before the end of the season. And that's going to be pass interference. Had the receiver, underthrew him a little bit. He had to come back for the ball, and he got nailed by the defensive back, number 5, Sander Griffin. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty. And actually, he saved a few yards there.
Right.
Well, that might be something Lincoln Charter wants to do next time Dorian Morgan gets the ball.
Yeah, you might want to
just tackle him.
Yeah, just hang on to him.
Don't let him get to the ball. Because when he gets it, there's no one on the field faster than him. Down to 1:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Walden keeps it, fouls Benton through the hole. Benton actually got more yardage than Walden did. And Walden a little slow to get up there. You mentioned earlier about the right hip and him holding it.
Yeah, it was a great job, great pursuit from Asher Church. One of the subs in here for the Knights. Showed good speed. He's playing one of those, I guess they're defensive ends, even though they're standing on the end of the line. But good pursuit from the backside, was able to bring him down to a gain of 2.
This will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Hand off to Benton. Sidesteps one tackler. Is that Benton or is that Colton Stern? Is that 5?
I believe it is.
That is 5. Colton Stern with a good carry. He gets 13 yards and a Turner Hauser Insurance first down as the 3rd quarter comes to a close. It's still 35-0 Lake Norman Charter. We'll be back with the 4th quarter after this.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Some people say there are doers, and there are dreamers. But what's wrong with a little dreaming, especially when it's shared? With hard work, little dreams grow into big ones. At Kubota, we know that your work never stops, and we're inspired by those who dream. But our equipment is built for dreamers and doers, like you. Kubota, built for those who do.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, Kings Mountain.
Time now for the 4th quarter, brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton. And it's Lincoln Charter's ball, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Knights.
Second time in their territory after their first drive, so it's good to be back.
Long time no see. Walden keeps it, runs up the middle, and he's brought down by a host of tacklers as he gets to the 41-yard line, gain of 4.
Kind of like the PA guys. 3, maybe 4. Could be whatever.
6 of one, half dozen of another, or something like that. This is a very nice facility. It'll be interesting to see which state title game gets put here. Great facility.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad seat in the house.
No. Pass is complete. Catch is made by Wilson near the sideline. And he gets a Turner Hauser Insurance first down as he gets exactly 7 yards.
Yeah, I think I saw the capacity is 7,500, but it could go to 10,000.
Really?
I think is what I saw on the website. So.
Well, yeah, you do have the end zone seating down here as well. It's open at the left end zone where the scoreboard is, but it has wraparound seating on both sides and in the end zone. 7 rows or so, so you can get a lot of people in here. Shovel pass goes to Colton Stern, and Stern with a good gain on first down as he gets to 29-yard line, a gain of 6 on the completed pass to Stern. Just a long handoff, basically, but it does count as a pass.
Yeah, good little mix. Just the opposite option that I always call those little shovel passes. Instead of pitching out to the right away from the line of scrimmage, you pitch it into the line of scrimmage.
And even better, if it's dropped, it's an incomplete pass. Unlike when it's out on the other end, it's a fumble. Motion, hand off to Benton. Now Walden keeps it, throws. He's got a receiver. He's caught the ball down here at the 20-yard line, so it'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
Yeah, Brody Ward.
Brody Ward with a catch.
Good little play. Like it was almost like an option. He was throwing out to his left.
I thought he was going to just keep running. He did have some open space, but he did throw it, and completion made to Ward. And they're down where they were approximately the first possession.
Don't throw it to the right.
And don't throw it to the white. Hand off to Benton. Benton around the right side. Inside the 10, knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So a gain of 15 as Benton's finally getting a little bit of room to roam. He did not have it in the first half.
Yeah, they've been trying to go a lot right with Benton, but that time they went left. So they might have found a little something here late in the game going to the left side, and now they got something at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal.
Hand off to Benton, cuts it back inside, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown for the Eagles. A 5-yard touchdown run by Benton, and it is a Kiever Pharmacy of Lincolnton touchdown.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Maybe they just saw something that just seems to be clicking on that left side. So good drive, way to finish it off. Gets that goose egg off the board. I was wondering if they're going to maybe go for 2, but now it worked the PAT team.
Grayson Silito, the freshman's on to kick the extra point. Brought to you by James River Equipment of Shelby. Snap, hold, kick is up. Good-looking kick. It was nice to be able to see one.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Because otherwise he's kicked off and that's it.
Well, remember that game that we covered at UNC Charlotte against Corby, and that was their problem was the snap. That was a good, firm snap. Got there quick, and then good timing, got the ball up. And so they are on the board.
Well, let's update the scoreboard here. Yay. There we go. 35-7 now. Clock still running. Once it gets to 35, it just keeps running whether the other team gets it under that margin or not. So we're down to 7 minutes.
Well, good drive. A good way, like I said, if they do make the playoffs, maybe it's a little something to build on for next week. Again, trying season for the Eagles with some of the injuries, but first-year varsity as they've been playing JV the last couple of years. I don't know. They don't need to build a new stadium. They can keep on up here, and we'll keep covering them.
Oh, yeah.
We got our own box.
Oh, that's awesome. And there's another couple suites next to us here. You've got the coach's booth, and then you've got where the PA announcer's sitting. Looks like they got a set up for miking up the referee as well. Silito kicks.
Live ball, boys.
And
Still
it's a live ball. Just out it did roll out of bounds on its own barely, just inside the 15-yard line. Yeah, it was close there.
I think this got right to the sideline and went dead. And then the Eagle player put the Lake Norman Charter player into the ball, and it went out of bounds. That's one of those interesting calls.
I think it hit out of bounds before it was touched, but
I think
barely.
I think he can pick it up out of bounds. You ever see that where they do that in some of the other leagues?
No.
If the player stands out of bounds and picks it up, it's considered out of bounds, which is like the most ridiculous rule I think I've ever heard.
How do you coach that? You see a ball out of bounds, it's like, okay, fine. So 1st and 10 for the Knights. The Knights are going to even their record at 5-5 after this one. And they may or may not get a home game next week. 9 through 24 will play next week. And if they happen to get to the 16th, they're good. And this is another new running back, number 7. This is Landon Martin carrying the ball. Walters got some carries on the last possession. Now it's a 1st and 10. Gets right to the line of gain at the 45. 10-yard gain for Martin.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I think it's number 16, Miles DeMauro at quarterback.
Yep, so a change there. And flag comes in as number 73 tackled. Let's see, that's Jackson Nichols tackled number 72 Colin Cooney right in front of the official. I mean, that was 2-point takedown.
Yeah, I think we thought we were in wrestling mania there.
Well, that starts here shortly, too, with the winter sports.
And I think we got a 42 down for the
and he was
Lincoln Charter.
Reaching towards his shin or his knee.
Well,
so
we can't give a name because we don't have a 42 on the roster.
Well, that's the second John Doe tonight. We're not sure who that is. And we'll be back after this quick timeout.
Is your home or business in need of a new roof or gutters? Look no further than Gutter Guys. Gutter Guys provides complete gutter and roofing solutions in our entire area, and even in Columbia, South Carolina. With over 22 years experience, Gutter Guys specializes in metal and shingle roofing, seamless gutters, and copper works. If your roof and gutters need some attention, Gutter Guys is here to help you. No job is too big or too small. So give them a call today at 704-879-4384 for Gutter Guys. Serving the Carolinas since 2003.
All right. Clock back underway eventually. The referee has to keep winding his arm about 10 times. Now it goes. Handoff goes again to Martin. Martin goes to the left side, gets some of the penalty yardage back. It'll be 3rd and 14 after the gain of 6. So 2nd and 14. Good job handling the snap. It was off to the side, but by the time he handed off to Martin, Colin Cooney was in the backfield because he wasn't held this time.
He switched sides, too. I don't know what happened. Maybe he's got the short side of the field. So, yeah, but he didn't get held on that one. You're right. 3:16 to go.
35-7 is the score.
How do we think this classification thing's going to work playoff-wise? Any opinion on that?
What do you mean classification-wise?
How with the 8 different classifications moving around. I think this is what the NCHSAA has in mind.
I believe what they have in mind is the bank vault.
Okay.
I mean, last year, at most 256 teams made the playoffs. If all the classes were full, there would be 360 teams making the playoffs. So that's 80. That's 180 games as opposed to 128.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. But what other than that? What's their objective having all these teams make the playoffs? Like you say, there's going to be teams getting in that have 1 win.
Yeah, and that's I've got an opinion there. It shouldn't be that many. 32 maybe, and then boom, you're done in 5 weeks as opposed to 6 weeks. Punt is in the air. They let it roll and roll and roll like it did. This must be some bouncy turf here because that one rolled almost 20 yards, and there was one earlier in the game that was like 25 or more.
Yeah, the quick kick there by Walden that got him inside the 5 didn't help on that field position. But yeah, I'm just kind of thinking, just again, what purpose do we have with all these multi-classification conferences and 8 classifications? And then you've got 1A and 8A are going to not even have the full 48.
Well,
and
8A was kept small by design.
Okay.
They were only supposed to have a certain number of teams. It's the really big ones. That's the only ones that are supposed to be in that 8A class, the Weddingtons and stuff like that. Throw here by Isaac Wilson, now playing quarterback for Lincoln Charter. And he gets it to Mr. No Name, number 11.
John Doe, number 1, the first.
He was the first John Doe of the evening. Benton comes – that's not – yeah, that's Benton. Benton comes out of the game. 46 seconds to go. Probably time for 2 more plays. Keep by Wilson this time. He goes up the middle, gets to the 30-yard line, gain of 4. And will there be another play? Because the clock's already at 30. And Lincoln Charter's lining up quickly, so they will get at least one more play in here. Handoff. Up the middle is number 13, Justin Hudgens. And he gets a Turner Hauser Insurance first down as he gets a gain of 9. And they do get one more play off. Wilson looks to throw, now rolls out to the left, keeps it, gets across the 40, and he's brought down, and that will be the final play of the game.
I just want to say congratulations to Lincoln Charter. This was their first year of football.
Oh, that's okay.
That's pretty. Do realize that is the Lincoln Charter announcer.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, and it's good to see another, a school. Yeah, it's been a rough year going 3-7, 1-5 in conference or something like that. But it's they got through the first season. They'll have a playoff game next week, probably. And so pretty good season. If the injuries hadn't been such an issue, they were an explosive offense. King Davis was he already picked off 4 passes in the first 2 games, and he was a threat offensively as well. He had just did a great job against West Lincoln with big plays, but then the injuries got them. And then everybody's kind of beat up this time of year, though.
Right.
That bye week helps, but it's a long season. Braden Walden is down on the turf. Looks like he's trying to stretch something out. The game's over.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got like that hip pointer. He kept
flexor
grabbing that.
Yeah,
kept grabbing that right hip, stretching it out.
So that'll do it. Its final is 35-7. We'll be back with a stadium post-game show brought to you by Glen Oaks Golf Club of Maiden. We'll have that right after this commercial break.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. There might be other Coyote tractor dealers in the area, but there is only one that stands above the rest. and that's Weston Sales in Vail. There's a reason they have been one of the top-selling Coyote tractor dealers in America today. Some reasons could be quality of service, friendly people, and yes, price. They will not be undersold on a new Coyote tractor. There's one waiting for you, Coyote and Weston Sales, synonymous in the tractor industry today. See them at 110 Highway 18 North in Vail, online at westonsales.com, like them on Facebook too. Applying for a car loan has never been easier than now at Jeff's Auto Sales in Lincoln and Shelby. Just apply online and get your financing pre-approved. Just go to jeffsautosales.com. And remember, they are the home of the $500 down payment. And shop online for your next vehicle. See the entire selection, pick out the one you want, and just apply online. That's Jeff Auto Sales, 3081 East Highway 27 in Lincoln, 4490 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Again, apply online at jeffsautosales.com. Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too. Be prepared for the flu season. Stop in with no appointment necessary at Kiever Pharmacy in Lincoln. They do all types of vaccinations, including flu shots, and now they are recommending pneumonia shots for those over the age of 50. Kiever Pharmacy features personalized care. See them at 1814 East Main Street in Lincoln, next to Chick-fil-A. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Call 704-735-9072. Online at KieverPharmacy.com. Like them on Facebook too. Got water problems? Then call the Warden. That's the Warden Companies in Lincoln. No matter your water problems, Gary Ward and the Warden Companies can help. From basement and crawl space encapsulation to water damage restoration, from mold and mildew remediation to structural repair, also foundation drainage and repair. And they repair dehumidifiers and do home remodeling too. Call the Warden Companies in Lincoln. Call 704-860-9800, a division of Bug Busters.
Bug Busters of Lincolnton now has a new location at 2863 NC Highway 27 West and Highway 150 Business intersection right across from Sane Hardware. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters, of course. Serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control and waterproofing. Call 704-732-2227 and visit the website at bugbusters.com. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
The Drive into Fall event is underway at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln, putting performance in your hands. Just announce, finance, and get 0% APR financing for 72 months or $7,750 in retail cash allowances toward the purchase of a new 2025 Dodge Charger Daytona. For details, see Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street in Lincoln during the Drive into Fall event. It's time to rush in now and pick up some great deals at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. It's Truck Month, and you don't want to pass on these deals. Now get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months on all new Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Also offer good on the Canyon and the Colorado models. And don't forget to take a look at the Car Bravo pre-owned vehicles. It's a touchdown to savings at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln, online at abernathychevrolet.com.
Escape the elements and get back to comfortable with James River Equipment's Back to Cool special. Step inside a John Deere 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder tractor and enjoy the ultimate operator experience. The premium cab keeps you out of the dust, dirt, and bugs, while air ride seats and quiet climate-controlled interior lets you focus on getting more done. With up to $5,000 off and 0% financing for 72 months, there's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. James River delivers. Ends 9/26/25 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
James River Equipment Company, 703 North Post Road, Shelby. CF Moto is clicking on all cylinders during the clearance sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports and Law. Get financing as low as 0% and up to $1,500 cash back on CF Moto models. And check out the Suzuki DRZ 4S motorbike with financing at 4.99% for 36 months. And the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event is underway. Get 0% for 60 months or $3,000 customer cash back. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Law, online at ncfullthrottlepowersports.com.
Back now at Lenore Rhine University, it is Moret Stadium. And again, as we said before, there will be a state final here. I don't know if it's one or two, but there will definitely be at least one. It is one of the sites, one of three sites. The other ones are North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
State got one?
And I'm not sure if State is or not. They just redid their field, by the way.
Oh, okay.
They were posting something online where they tore out the entire field and resodded.
Oh, wow.
So must be nice to have this kind of bucks.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, they could, as good as the grass probably was, they could send some of it to my yard.
Well, I'm sure it just had the state fair, too. They probably got some of that agriculture group to come out and take care of it.
Well, they had plenty of time to do it during the state fair.
That's true.
There's probably plenty of fertilizer over on the state fairgrounds and certain exhibits. But anyway, it is the Stadium Postgame Show brought to you by Glen Oaks Golf Club of Maiden. And this one was all Lake Norman charter right from the start. Quick recap of the game brought to you by Parker Farm Service of Kings Mountain. Lake Norman charter got an interception on the first drive by Lincoln Charter, returned it 71 yards, set him up in business at the 23-yard line. And a couple plays later, you had a touchdown there, 6-yard touchdown run by the freshman. Name's different. Yep. Hayes Dodson. Maybe his parents were Jimi Hendrix fans.
Oh,
Purple
perhaps.
Haze.
There you go.
Anyway, because I don't know. I mean, there's also a person on the roster named Uriah.
Heap?
Uriah Heep. That's exactly right. I was like, wow, this.
We're just showing our age. We need to
Yes,
move along,
yes,
move
we
along.
are.
Nothing to see here.
Because we remember when those came out. Not that, oh, it's oldies radio. Anyway, then the next possession, 23-yard touchdown pass. Then after that, an end around turned into a 46-yard touchdown run by Dorian Morgan, who, if you get him going, it looks like he's shot out of a cannon. You don't let him get the ball in open space so you can forget about it. And then the next possession, 4 straight possessions. Then there was an 18-yard touchdown pass to number 10, Tristan English. And then they were driving again, and they got an interception. So that was the only time they were stopped in the first half. And then late in the first half, after a quick kick by Lincoln Charter, it put it down at, the 4-yard line?
Yeah, they ran one quarterback sneak
for 2 yards. And then they hit Mr. Morgan on it's kind of a seam route, it looks like. And
seam sort of post, right?
Yeah, and good night, Irene. He was gone. The referees got down to the end zone and signaled touchdown about 10 seconds later.
He was already.
There was a delay.
Yeah, he was dancing and moving around, put the ball at the spot for the extra point by the time the officials got there.
We're not kidding, folks. That's exactly what he did. And the referees are down there. Touchdown. And then that brought out the run. It was 35-0 at the half, which meant we had a running clock for the second half. And they didn't do much in that half. Didn't really need to. They substituted liberally, get some other people in, couple of punts. And finally, Lincoln Charter was able to drive down the field. Benton with a 5-yard touchdown run. The PAT by Grayson Silito made it 35-7, and that was the final score. So that is a recap of the game brought to you by Parker's Farm Service of Kings Mountain. So finally, we get to some awards.
Yeah, like I said, it was hard to keep up. Both teams kind of came out of the game ready to go. But the sub of the game, brought to you by Subway of Boger City, we gave to number 58, Asher Church, defensive lineman for the Lake Norman Knights. Came in just spelled. They were kind of rotating a little bit on the defensive line, but he ended up with 3 tackles in limited plays, but 2 of them were for loss. So, again, that sometimes kind of hard to keep up with the subs, but Asher Church kind of stood out and got some big stops when needed for the Lake Norman Knights. So, again, Asher Church of Lake Norman is our sub of the game, brought to you by Subway of Boger City.
Next up is the offensive player of the game, brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company of Lincolnton.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned him as one of the players to watch for Lake Norman, and that's the quarterback, Dylan Wignott. And short field, so like stat-wise, you wouldn't think it was, much to look at. Good efficiency throwing the ball, 10 of 14. And again, only 193 yards, but 4 touchdowns, including one, as we mentioned, for 94 yards to Dorian Morgan. But just, threw a good ball. A couple of them were dropped. Did a good job when he even had to run the ball. I think he had a few yards rushing as well. But just, had pretty good control of the offense. So Dylan Wignott, the quarterback for Lake Norman Knights, is our offensive player of the game, brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company of Lincolnton.
Next up, defensive player of the game, brought to you by Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Lincolnton.
Yeah, we mentioned his name a bunch of times in the first half, and was the player for Lincoln Charter that got the interception for him. Again, one of the only stop, I believe, as you mentioned, in the first half, and that was number 13, Justin Hudgens, playing strong safety. Again, he had 6 tackles
not good
overall, but again, he's a strong safety. He should not be making too many tackles, again, but he was usually the first one there because nobody was touching him in front in the first or second levels. But had a good game. He seemed to cover the field rather well. Again, read the interception from Wignott to get a good stop for Lincoln Charter. So, again, Justin Hudgens of Lincoln Charter is our defensive player of the game. Brought to you by Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Lincolnton.
Yeah, not good for the defense, but good play by Hudgens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And finally, time for the overall player of the game, brought to you by Abernathy Chevrolet of Lincolnton.
Yeah, again, another one. It's interesting. We had a lot of these players in our key players to watch to start the game. Brought to you by Key Builders of Lincolnton. We'll give them another plug. But yeah, Dorian Morgan, like I said, we didn't think there was, without being too crass about it, that's not real big size for a senior. But when you see him move and the athleticism he has is unbelievable. But Dorian Morgan, of course, is our overall player of the game. 3 receptions, 140 yards, including that 94-yard touchdown. But he could have had another, about a 60-yard
Oh, yeah, in the 60-yard
that he dropped.
Oh, hit him right in the worst place, his hands.
But he didn't do it on the 94-yarder. He caught that one.
No, he caught that one in a way he would have been gone on that other one too because the DB was a good 3 yards behind him trying to chase him, and you're not going to catch him.
Yeah, like I said, I think we even mentioned they might want to come back to that play, and they did.
Yep.
Late in the first half. And he did have the end-around run, as you mentioned as well, double reverse. They kind of ran right like they were going to go away, and he looped around, got the handoff on the double reverse. Wignott was his lead blocker, didn't need him because he was untouched going in for a 46-yard rush. So that was his 3rd touchdown of the game. So, again, Lake Norman's Dorian Morgan is our overall player of the game, brought to you by Abernathy Chevrolet of Lincolnton.
All right, and that will do it for tonight and for the regular season.
Yeah, like I say, it seems like we just got started. We were saying Can't believe we're off and running again, and now we're saying,
Now I can't believe we're
it.
done.
We're done. We're getting ready for the playoffs. So
Yeah, and next week will be the playoffs. They are doing the seedings on Sunday, so we will not see the brackets till at least Sunday evening probably. And then we will figure out where we're going because there's going to be some buys. Lincolnton and East Lincoln will probably get buys. North Lincoln and West Lincoln will probably have first-round games. The only one I see getting a home game out of that would be West Lincoln.
right.
Lincoln Charter will probably be on the road as well. So we'll just have to wait and see how things turn out. Wait for the committee to put out the brackets so we can see what's in them.
See if we can get a score. Yeah, Lincolnton 28, West Lincoln 0. Ford 21, North Lincoln 7. Those are both still in the third quarter.
Because we started at 7 o'clock.
Started at 7, then
and
we had a running clock.
So we got done quick. So, again, thank you to Kevin back in the studio for getting everything set up. Gracie for coming up and running the camera for us. Bit of a snafu on which camera person went where. It wasn't her fault. So thank you to them, and thank you to everybody at KTC for helping us put these games on. We've enjoyed it. And I always enjoy working with Scott because I learned so much from him because he was a coach and I wasn't.
Well, thank you. I'm learning the broadcast business from you, so it all evens out.
Yeah, well, you've been getting to do some play-by-play here and there because I've been trying to troubleshoot what's going on with equipment and stuff. So appreciate you jumping in there and appreciate all the knowledge and camaraderie. And we do have fun doing these.
Absolutely.
If you're old enough, you might catch a lot of the references. If not, just, let it blow over your head, roll your eyes like you do with your parents.
Right.
It's like, oh, God, Dad.
We'll say something stupid in about a couple more seconds anyway.
Probably. So that'll do it here from Lenoir-Rhyne and Moret Stadium. Thank you for joining us. Final Norman Charter 35, Lincoln Charter 7. This has been High School Football brought to you by KTC Broadcasting. Stay tuned to see where we end up next week. Thank you, and good night.